I'm Megan Gilger of the Fresh Exchange, where we talk about going from the garden to the kitchen. And today I want to show you how to quickly and easily make chicken stock using your Instapot, the fastest and easiest way. Let's do it. First of all, if you have not made your whole chicken yet, I highly suggest doing that first. So you can find that video over here in the playlist, but do that first and then come to this video, because this is where you're gonna use those remnants of what's left over. So this is my pot that I had, and it looks really exciting, but it's all the leftovers and it sat overnight. And now I'm going to add everything else, and the leftovers include any skin, fatty parts, bones, all the things that you didn't eat in the meal or save to consume for lunches the rest of the week. So I am going to use this, obviously, and I'm going to insert it here. And this is an Instant Pot Duo Evo Plus. It is a little bit higher end than the other Instant Pots, but I highly suggest it. It's a 6-quart, and this thing just is a workhorse. It can replace your slow cooker, which is even better. So I'm gonna just make sure it's ready to go in here. And then what you're gonna want is you're gonna want some celery, carrots, onions, garlic, thyme, and some salt. If you want, salt is optional. The other materials you're gonna need is a cutting board, a knife, a 12-ounce freezer-ready jar if you're choosing to freeze these. If you're not, then I suggest just using any sort of cold container that you can put in the fridge. And then you're gonna need a colander and a bowl so that you can sift the bones and everything. So that's what you need. Now let's in some water. So now let's get into prepping it. I'm just gonna peel my carrots, and these chops are super quick and easy. So we're just gonna get that skin off. This is great for your compost, especially for worm composting, if you already have worms or things that you're using for compost. And then you're just gonna peel this. Super quick. And if you only have 2 carrots or 1 carrot or some baby carrots, whatever you have, just that's what you can use. And if you don't have carrots, you can also use some sweet potatoes or anything like that. This is just the traditional method, but it's not necessary. So then you're just gonna cut the tops off, cut the bottoms off, and then you're just gonna do big chunks. And then you're gonna drop them in, and then you're gonna do the same thing with the celery. Then you're gonna want to cut your onion. So first remove the skin of it very easily. If you cut the top off, it makes it much easier to get it off. And honestly, you don't have to remove all the skin, even because some of it doesn't really matter. If you have some like rough, dry stuff, it's totally fine. And cut the bottom off, and then just cut it into quarters. And then next, you're gonna want to cut open your onion or your garlic and take out a few cloves. I would just say like 3 to 4, depending on the size of them. I'm going to smash them to make it easy to remove the skin. Oh, I got an extra one there. Then you're gonna want to take some thyme. I would just say a good handful and put it in there. You can leave the sprigs and everything because you're gonna strain this. So you can just take some of it, put it up there, and then some salt, just a good pinch. And then you're gonna fill with fresh filtered water from your faucet or wherever you get your water. So you're gonna want to have about 6 to 8 cups, depending on how much space everything takes up. Depends on your Instapot. But you do want to bring it up to the max fill line, which is right in here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna place your top on, seal it, and then you're gonna hit pressure cook and custom on this one, and we're gonna do 40 minutes. And then start. Now it's going to take 10 minutes for it to come up to pressure, and then you need to let it go down for 10 minutes. So it will beep when it's cooking fully, like it's fully pressurized, and then it'll beep again when it is done cooking, when the 40 minutes have been done. So you can expect that it takes a total of an hour. So it's, you just so you can be prepared. A lot of times I will do this if I know I'm gonna have soup later that day, I will do it at lunchtime and then sift it, and it will be ready for dinner that night. So the broth is now done. We are ready to strain it and pour it into our storage containers so we can freeze it. So first of all, a lot of people are really freaked out by the Instant Pot because of the pressurization. So the key is to wait for it to naturally release. It takes about 10 to 30 minutes depending on your Instant Pot. This one has a quicker natural release than most, but usually the amount of time, so this is just the keep warm thing you can see there. And the amount of time that we have left is, that has been naturally releasing is basically 12. So what I wanna do is I'm first gonna cancel it. So now it's off. And then so that just in case there is anything that is gonna come out of the vent up here, I want to step back, and then this little lever right here is what I wanna push. So I'm manually releasing some of the excess pressure right now. I didn't wait the full 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you wanna say. Now that it's all been released, we can open it. And you can see all the yummy vegetables in there and everything. And now we just need to separate the broth from all of the stuff that we cooked. So we need a colander and a large bowl to put underneath. This bowl is a 5-quart bowl, and it is perfect size to put all this stuff into. So we're gonna pick it up, and my Instant Pot has these things, but I think it's still good idea to use your mitts. So you want to pick it up, pour it away from you, slowly pour it. You can let it cool some if you would like. So we're gonna do that. Now, there's all this stuff left in the bottom. And if you want to, you can still use these bones, not the vegetables, but the bones for bone broth. And there's a subsequent video that we're going to do that we'll talk about that. But, so if you want to, just let all this fully cool by placing it over your Instant Pot. Now we can take the broth and we can put it into our storage containers. I have roughly 2.5 quarts of broth here, and I will be putting it into about 7 12-ounce ball jars to put into the freezer. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to take a measuring cup and pour it very slowly so we don't spill any until it's easier to pour. So we're gonna go right up to the freeze line on these and then move over to another one. You can speed this part up.
Next time, start from the front one.
I'm not gonna break my line right now.
Oh my gosh, the light is beautiful in here.
I mean, we designed this space right. Now we have all of them filled and they are ready to be topped with our top. And since we're just freezing these and we're not canning them, you don't have to get all new seals every single time. So you can just put the top on, and you might hear them pop as they cool, but they're not actually sealed, so do not put, they're not shelf stable, so do not use them that way. Either put them into your refrigerator or put them into your freezer. And just some quick tips about them, so you know that you're gonna notice that there's this layer here. And if you do not want that, you can just skim it off. But I think it's really good. I think it's really good for the taste of your soups, all of it. You might also find that this is going to be like gelatin-like potentially sometimes. It's not always consistently that way. It depends on how much fat and gelatin has been released into the broth itself through the process. So if that happens, it's totally normal and totally fine. It's great for you. It has wonderful benefits. So do not fear the gelatin. And if you are planning to do bone broth, stick around for the next video because we're gonna do that next.